Imagine stepping into a backyard that feels like a soft, sun-drenched corner of the French countryside, where every flower seems to lean gently toward the light and the air carries the quiet hum of bees and rustling leaves. This is the heart of what we're building today, a cottagecore garden that's not just beautiful, but easy to live in and easy to grow. Picture terracotta pots nested among lavender, soft pink roses climbing along a weathered wooden trellis, and a small gravel path winding through the plants like a page out of a storybook. This is where everyday life meets slow, thoughtful design, where you can sit with a cup of tea and feel truly at peace. If this is the kind of garden you've been dreaming of, then this video is your first step. I'll walk you through simple layout ideas, planting tips, and little details that turn an ordinary backyard into a cozy personal garden oasis. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment if you'd like more cottagecore garden inspiration like this. The first step of your French country cottage garden is deciding how it will flow through your space, where the eye naturally travels, where your feet want to wander, and where the sun kisses the plants most often. Think of your backyard as a blank canvas, where soft curves, gentle circles, and organic shapes replace stiff lines and sharp corners. Imagine a main focal point in the center or along one wall, a small trellised rose arch, a low boxwood hedge, or a cluster of lavender like a soft cloud of color. From that point, let the beds gently curve outward, framing the view like brushstrokes on a painting, inviting you to slow down and explore. By sketching a simple layout on paper or even in your Notes app, you keep your plants organized while still leaving room for that slightly wild romantic feel. This balance of structure and softness is what makes your cottagecore garden feel intentional, yet never too perfect. Picture wave after wave of soft pink roses, lavender, and hydrangeas spilling gently over the edges of your flower beds, like a ribbon of color laid down by hand. French country cottage beds are never too tight or too neat. Instead, they feel romantically relaxed, with taller plants at the back and shorter ones edging the front like a trimmed frill of lace. Imagine how the light changes as the day moves on. Morning sun catching the dew on slender lavender stems, midday highlighting the soft blush of roses, and late afternoon gilding the edges of hydrangea petals. This layered look gives your garden depth, so it feels much bigger and more alive than the space it actually occupies. By repeating a few key plants, roses, lavender, and hydrangeas, throughout your beds, you create a sense of rhythm and harmony without losing that charming, slightly wild cottage feel. It's like a slow, gentle melody of color and texture that plays out every time you step outside. Tucked into one corner of your French country garden, imagine a small nook where rosemary, thyme, and basil grow in neat little rows beside a few pots of cherry tomatoes and curly leaf parsley. These edible pockets bring more than just color. They add fragrance, texture, and a practical reason to step outside every day. Picture how the soft silver leaves of rosemary brush against your hand as you bend down to harvest, and how the scent of thyme rises gently when the sun warms the soil. Even a tiny edible corner feels intentional when framed by a simple wooden border or a low stone edging, keeping it cozy and easy to reach. By placing these herbs near seating areas or along the main path, you invite interaction. Snipping a sprig for your dinner, arranging a small bouquet on the table, or simply pausing to enjoy the smell. This little edible nook turns your garden into a living larder that feels both charming and deeply useful. Imagine a gentle gravel path winding through your French country garden like a quiet invitation, guiding your footsteps from the back door to the flower beds and past the herb nooks. These soft, stone-dusted trails give your garden structure without feeling strict, blending the wildness of the plants with the order of the design. Picture the way the gravel catches the morning light, tiny stones glowing like scattered pearls between the lavender and roses. By framing these paths with low edging, perhaps a line of small wooden stakes, soft stone, or a low lavender border, you define the space without closing it off. Picture a simple wooden arch or trellis gently wrapped in climbing roses, their pale pink blooms spilling outward like soft lace against the sky. These vertical accents give your French country garden a sense of height and movement, drawing the eye upward and making the space feel more layered and dreamy. Imagine how the vines catch the light at different times of day: soft morning rays catching the inner petals, midday sun highlighting the green stems, and late afternoon gilding the outer edges of the roses. By placing a rose arch above a narrow gravel path or at the end of a small seating area, you create a gentle focal point that feels both romantic and grounded. It's the kind of detail that makes your cottagecore garden feel intentional, like every plant and structure has a quiet story to tell. Imagine a small wooden bench tucked into a quiet corner of your French country garden, its weathered surface blending with the soft pastel roses and lavender around it. This isn't just a place to sit, it's a little theater for your garden, where you can pause, sip tea, and watch the bees drift from bloom to bloom. Picture the bench framed by two soft pink rose bushes and a low lavender hedge that gently brushes against your feet, as if the plants are inviting you closer. The light above you feels softer here, filtered through nearby leaves, turning the air into a warm, golden haze that makes every moment feel slower and more peaceful. By placing this seating area near a flowering arch or at the end of a gravel path, you give your garden a natural destination, like a gentle exclamation point in the layout. Picture a small wrought iron or stone fountain resting quietly in one corner of your French country garden, its surface brushed with soft moss and the gentle sheen of moving water. Imagine the way the sunlight catches the water's surface, sending tiny ripples of light dancing across nearby lavender stems and rose petals. Even on still days, the fountain keeps the air feeling alive, creating a sense of movement that softens the edges of the garden and makes everything feel more relaxed. By placing this fountain near a seating area or along a gravel path, you give your garden a focal point that feels both elegant and effortless. The sound of water draws you in, encouraging you to pause, breathe deeply, and truly enjoy the little oasis you've created around your home. As the sun dips below the rooftops, picture your French country garden slowly being wrapped in a soft, golden twilight, where the last warm light lingers on the edges of rose petals and silvery lavender leaves. This is the gentle shift from day to evening, when the garden feels most intimate and inviting, like a quiet, open-air room just for you. Imagine a few discreet string lights threaded along the arms of a rose arch, their tiny warm white bulbs glowing like captured fireflies above the gravel path. The soft glow dances on the water of a small fountain, traces the edges of wooden edging, and wraps the bench in a cozy halo, making the whole space feel like a storybook illustration come to life. By adding low-level lighting along the path or tucked into the corners of flower beds, you extend the magic of your garden into the night without overwhelming it. The garden becomes a place to linger after dinner, to sit with a blanket, listen to the soft water sounds, and watch the warm light weave through the plants like a quiet lullaby. Picture adding a few simple, handmade touches that don't require big tools or a contractor. Just a bit of time, some creativity, and a love for the garden. A small wooden edging along your flower beds, a casually stacked stone border, or a repurposed terracotta pot turned into a mini rose corner can transform your French country garden from ordinary to charming in just a weekend. Imagine painting a plain wooden trellis in a soft, weathered white or a muted pastel, then letting climbing roses slowly weave their way through it, layer by layer. Or consider lining your gravel path with small, uneven stones to give it a slightly rustic hand-laid feel, as if the garden grew into place over many years instead of being built in a single afternoon. By focusing on small, repeatable details, like matching pot colors, consistent gravel width, or repeating a few plant types throughout, your garden feels cohesive, even if you build it piece by piece. Picture stepping into your French country garden every morning, not with a long to-do list, but with a quiet routine that feels more like tending to a friend than doing chores. A few minutes here to deadhead roses, a few there to lightly trim lavender, and a gentle watering for the herbs turns maintenance into a soft, daily rhythm rather than a burden. Imagine how the plants respond to this gentle consistency. Roses sending out fresh blooms, lavender staying full and fragrant, and the herbs continually offering new leaves to snip. The garden feels alive because it's being visited regularly, not because it's being overworked, and this balance is what keeps a cottagecore space feeling thriving but never stressed. By setting a simple weekly pattern, watering deeply a few times a week, checking for weeds in the gravel paths, and occasionally gently shaping the edges of your beds, you allow the garden to grow at its own pace while still looking cared for. As you stand back and look at your French country backyard garden, take a deep breath and let the feeling sink in. Soft lavender brushing your ankles, roses glowing in the afternoon light, and the gentle sound of water from your small fountain drifting through the air. This is what you've built, a living, breathing space that reflects your style, your rhythm, and your connection with nature. Remember that a cottagecore garden doesn't need to be perfect, it needs to feel personal and peaceful. Every simple path, every rose-covered arch, every herb-filled nook tells a quiet story of your time, your choices, and your care. This is your garden oasis, a place where everyday life slows down and beauty grows around you. If you enjoyed this journey into creating a cottagecore backyard filled with flowers, herbs, and soft French country charm, please subscribe to Garden Blooms, Bring Garden to Life, like this video, and leave a comment to share which part of the garden feels most inspiring to you. Your support helps me create more gentle, practical garden stories just like this one.